I'm doing this one at night. It feels really weird. I usually do these during the day, so everyone's in the house. If you hear random stuff out there, it's kids, dogs, partners, whatever. Just ignore it. Hello wonderful humans of the internet, how are we? My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Patreon and various other social media platforms, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Over there. Now if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special rules on my Discord server, and you have access to all sorts of bonus content like my Vocal Anatomy 101 series where I teach you how the voice works, and various other things. We're going to turn it into a cool wee hang space too, so consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Okay, this flashed up on the trending page and I thought for a while I should be going back and looking at some more Babymetal. And Babymetal came to me. So I think this is actually a collaboration because it's Babymetal with Electric Callboy, who I've never heard of, but in the thumbnail they are wearing like bedazzled motorcycle helmets. And I will listen to anything if it features bedazzled motorcycle helmets. So it's called Ratatata. Ratatata. I need to count the tas. Ratatata. Ratatata. So we're going to go and have a listen to Ratatata and see what we think. Ooh.
Every night when the sky turns red up above, I feel the beat in my veins and I'm searching for love. You know that hips don't lie and leave you hypnotized. Just give me one more try to make you feel that vibe.
Okay, so these guys are possibly certifiably insane, and I love it. First guy, there was a bit of a laboured sentence of it's coming through from this kind of almost fryish kind of place, a little bit of maybe constriction from the false chords, but not enough to do any damage or cause any concern. It's that kind of da 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 da. It's got a really nice texture to it, and it sounds kind of, I don't know, it puts me in mind of like 80s cool. Second guy came flying in with a high head voice, really clean, really crisp, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely no texture coming through from this. This is false chords retracted in order to make that lovely sound. Gorgeous. Okay. This song is just gonna go like a mile a minute, so let's try and go back a tiny touch. So we're getting some real textured vocals from the guys. It's very, very metal heavy. Sounds to me like false chord scream, which is just super kind of gritty and roary sounding. It makes such an intense sound. It's so cool. It works so well in like rock songs like this. This feels like rock and dance fusion, which is kind of what Babymetal did in certain songs that I listened to, so this is a match made in heaven. Do you know what I forgot to mention is their like little gloves have really rounded fingertips, which make me feel dead uneasy, and I don't know why. Anyway, then the Babymetal girls come in really nice and light. The larynxes are lovely and high. That keeps the sound kind of fresh, bright, innocent sounding almost. And it was such a cool segue into that point. It feels like a completely different section. It's really good. The playfulness of this is really like, well, fun. I mean, it's supposed to be. That's playful. Just like the little added inflections of ooh, ooh, all of that kind of stuff. It feels really party-esque. There's a real kind of Euro flavour to this as well. I don't know where the Electric Callboy guys are from, but I would hazard a guess it's somewhere in Europe. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking like Denmark, Iceland, Germany, somewhere in that kind of area. If you listen to Eurovision entries, there's this kind of like rock and dance fusion that comes out of maybe Finland as well. I'm going for one of those countries. If I'm right, let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know. I need to know anyway. Do they always play up to the like cute factor, or is this just for this video? Because I have seen videos where there's like fire like raining up from the ground and stuff, but this is very like, you know, they're playing up on the cutesiness, which is really cool. I'm just not sure, is that what they always go for, or is this like a character driven thing for the video? The harmonies are so nice and tight. They feel really, really like gelled together, almost like they're singing with one voice. They're just a lovely little trio. I love it. So there's a really interesting way he's kind of almost scooping through vowel shapes, like that oh kind of sound, and when you go through that with that kind of raspy sound, it feels like a real tearing of the whole phrase, but I think it's mainly down to that change in vowel shape. It's really good. It sounded almost like a fry scream towards the end, like he'd gone from a false chord and kind of changed into a fry, but it could just be that that change in vowel shape is so severe that it just feels like it's a completely different flavour. Again, could be wrong. Now, there was the first part of the Babymetal vocals sounded a little bit more mature. There was maybe a wee drop of the larynx slightly in order to give that a little bit more weight and a little bit more like gravitas. And then when it got into that second part, they lifted again and got into that bright kind of bubblegummy kind of space. I think it's really cool. I would love to hear like the full range of where their vocals kind of, how low they can make their voices sound versus how bright, because the bright sound is so stand out that you almost forget about the part that came before it, if that makes sense. I hope it does. I love them. I love them all together as well. This pairing is fantastic.
Here for the moment, here for the beat, here for the love and the friends I need to know that I'll be there for good.
That sounds very like up in his nasal kind of space. That is your velum kind of coming into play. When your velum completely closes off the oral passage, you get this sing kind of sound. When you lift it off of the back of the tongue just slightly, you get that's where he is. So you're getting like an oral and nasal mix from that positioning, and it just creates this kind of smoother sound. It's really good. So this is very bright, the lips are very spread, so you get this E kind of sound. E, everything's in that place. That makes it really bright and lifted. I mean, that's a lot of what the vocal has been so far, so that makes sense. But it's that lip shape that is really driving that sound into that super lifted territory. And then it changed there. It sounds like something out of Mortal Kombat now. That is like taking me right back to the like early 90s. I really like with Electric Callboy how they seem to go from like almost like saccharine pop vocals into these heavy like metal style textured vocals, and you're kind of just like shunted from one into the other. It's like almost kind of shocking, but it helps to push the piece. I feel like you're just like woof the whole time, like what is going on, in the best way.
You know what I want. Now everybody's getting through. I will push it to the limit, and everybody's feeling the sound of the night. I don't wanna stop. We push it to the limit. Together we will crush the morning light.
The difference again, I need to say it again, between that da 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 with that da 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 da, that is so much more lifted in the second part. I feel like if you had all of one, if you had the first vocal styling all the way through into that da da da, it would sound too muted and muffled. It doesn't have enough lift. Likewise, if you had the lifted part at the beginning, it would be almost too bright the whole way through. So the fact that they can tweak, and it's not a big tweak, it's just a slight change in that larynx height, I feel, and maybe a little bit like less of the bright vowel shape, just gives a little bit more somberness. And I say that knowing full well that this is one of the craziest songs I've heard in a while, but I hope that makes sense. It kind of creates a little bit of stillness for that bright place to kind of come in and take a little bit of the shock and put it into the song. This is so good. Right, so there's something there that said Skilobros, SCH. I think they're German, as a guess. I'm not too clued up on my European languages, but that's a guess. That was so good. And see at the end, the actual metal screams and their vocals together blended so beautifully, like I couldn't quite tell what was happening. It was just, they are flawless together. That should be like a permanent fixture. They should form one big supergroup. So that was a fun way to spend an evening. I hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you'll be the first to know. Likewise, if you have more stuff from Electric, Callboy, or Babymetal that you'd like me to listen to, let me know in the comments and I'll go and take a wee look. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? I don't even know what happened for the last 10 minutes, so I don't know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and I suppose if you liked that video, then give it a sub, and then like. That's about all I've got. I don't know, flabbergasted. I'm gonna go listen to that song again. Right, bye.